So the Royal Rumble literally just finished, and I'm going to give you my straight up thoughts right after, and it's fresh in my mind. So I'm going to give you what I thought, starting with the Women's Royal Rumble, which was the first match of the night, which there was only 4. There was the Women's Rumble, the Undisputed Championship, Fatal 4-Way was right after that, and then the United States Championship, and then the Men's Royal Rumble. And let me tell you this Royal Rumble was so good, man. Like, there was lacking a couple surprises that I think everyone got their hopes up too high for. Starting with this, the Women's Royal Rumble. The Women's Rumble was so good. You starting off with a massive surprise at number 2. We have Naomi returning as Naomi and not Trinity Fatu like her old TNA name. I'm so happy that she came back. She has one of the coolest entrances, man, and SmackDown or Raw, wherever she ends up, is going to be great now with her. Not only her, the TNA Women's Champion literally appeared on it as well, which is insane because it's another wrestling company, and you had the person who beat Naomi for the championship come into the Rumble as well, and she dominated as well in the Rumble, and she had a pretty good showing. Apart from that, the Women's Rumble match was really good. Like, you had some good spots. You had the spot with Valhalla and R-Truth, where R-Truth comes out thinking it's the Men's Rumble, and he gets Valhalla eliminated. So that was pretty good. We had Bayley come in at number 3, and then I think Asuka and Kairi Sane come out like shortly after, and she's kind of like starting a little bit of conflict in Damage Control, which was good. You know, also giving Bayley the Iron Woman feat as she goes on all the way to the end. I think 63 minutes, like an hour and 3 minutes she went, and then win the Rumble, which was insane. Like, I really wanted Bayley to win. I knew they weren't going to go with, like, after the number 30 came out, it was Liv Morgan. I was like, yeah, they're definitely not giving Liv Morgan the Rumble win. It's got to be Bayley, right? Like, I don't think they're going to give it to Jade Cargill on her first. You know, literally her debut was this Rumble, and I don't think they're going to give it a main event of WrestleMania, like, after debuting straight away. Like, that just didn't make sense. But I think Jade Cargill was like the big surprise one that they left for later, and then you had Liv Morgan at number 30. And I know everyone was hoping for Sasha Banks or AJ Lee. I really thought at least AJ Lee would come back because CM Punk's back, but maybe she wasn't ring ready, so maybe they didn't, you know, maybe they're going to hold off her return if she comes back to the WWE. But apart from those two things not happening, maybe Sasha Banks didn't get the deal done, so maybe she won't come back. If she comes back, maybe WrestleMania, but which is okay. We still got Naomi back. We got a really good Rumble as well. I hope they start this Damage Control thing where they kick out Bayley, and Bayley challenges Io for the title at WrestleMania instead of Ripley, and have Bayley turn face. I think that will be so good, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can come out of this win right now, unless they do have go to WrestleMania against Ripley and beat Ripley for the title. But for some reason, I don't see Bayley beating Rhea Ripley for the title. If anyone's going to beat Rhea, I think it would be Becky. But I don't know. We'll see after Elimination Chamber who's, doing that. Yeah, overall, Women's Rumble was really good. You got the Undisputed title, which Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. There was a good match. There were some close calls, especially with Randy towards the end, where he hit the RKO on like everyone. And it seemed like he was gonna win, and then Solo does the classic and rip out the ref from in the ring. From there, it's the usual Roman Reigns victory. He won fairly clean, apart from the solo interference, because I mean Roman was getting jumped pretty much the whole match, so really it was a pretty clean match if you think about it. Like, he got jumped by 3 other guys, and all he had was solo. So to be fair, it was a pretty clean win for Roman, like, finally. And he also did get hammered with a steel chair by AJ Styles as well, and he got hit by literally everyone's finisher in the match. So he got ganged up on, and he still won, which is a pretty good feat for him. It was a decent match. It was a Slim Jim match. I think it was a sponsored match. I'm surprised it was the second match. It was like in the middle. It wasn't, the opener or the closer, because Roman Reigns usually always main events. But yeah, it was pretty good. There was no surprises, nothing with The Rock or anything, which is alright, I guess. I don't think they're going to do The Rock this year, from what it looks like, after the men's Royal Rumble. The Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Again, another good match. Logan Paul doesn't really miss with his matches. Kevin Owens is really good in the ring as well. It was brutal, man. Like, Logan, got, absolutely, like, hammered. Like, Kevin Owens chopped the shit out of him. You could see his chest all bruised and red. It was bleeding. And I think the ending was pretty good. They set up like they extended the feud basically at the end with Kevin Owens jumping Logan. But it was a pretty creative and interesting finish, with Kevin Owens being the one that gets disqualified, because Kevin Owens hit Logan with Logan's brass knuckles, and all of a sudden the ref has fixed his vision, saw the brass knuckles when he was pinning Logan, and disqualified Kevin Owens. So that's obviously setting up, they're probably going to have another match at Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, which I will be there for as well. But yeah, overall, good match. I don't know if it's a 5-star, but it's a good match. The men's Rumble was really good. Especially the final two at the end. It was like some Undertaker, Shawn Michaels kind of shit at the end. And it went for a little while as well. It went for like almost like 10 minutes or something at the end there. You're stressing, wondering who's going to win, CM Punk or Cody Rhodes. But the men's Rumble didn't really have too much surprises. I think the biggest surprise was Andrade coming back, which wasn't that big of a surprise. Everyone kind of knew Andrade was coming back. You had Braun Breaker absolutely wreck everyone, which was cool. Jey Uso, Iron Man of the match, almost an hour. I think 50 something minutes, like 51 minutes or something. So he was the Iron Man. We had him start off with Jimmy. I mean, it was predictable. We kind of saw it coming. Jay comes out as number 1. Jimmy comes out number 2. You had this whole red versus blue thing. It was kind of cool. Yeet, yeet. And then Grayson Waller comes out 3rd and helps Jimmy beat up Jay. And then I think Jay and Gunther might have had something a little bit set up there. Jay got eliminated by Gunther like towards the end. So maybe that's setting up something, because I think Jay is going to get a shot at the Intercontinental title eventually. I don't know if he's going to win it, but it seems like they're setting up this Jimmy Jay feud, so he probably won't win it. We had Drew McIntyre come out at 29, and I think CM Punk at like 27. And then 30 was Sami Zayn, which he's been gone for a while, but it wasn't like it was like the Liv Morgan return. It was like exactly the same. They were both gone from injury or written off kind of like that way. But Sami Zayn, I kind of forgot about him. Thinking like, who's gonna be 30? Who's gonna be 30? Like, some people were saying MJF, but MJF wasn't gonna come. He's still with AEW. I think they're working a story over there. That would be insane if it was MJF, but I don't know. Probably not anytime soon this year. But Yeah, there's no real big yeah, surprise return. There was no, not even Brock Lesnar returned. I think there's like some allegations to do with him, so maybe they took him out. Maybe they replaced him with Braun Breaker. Also with NXT, I think we had Roxanne Perez go into the Women's Rumble, and Tiffany Stratton as well. I forgot to mention that. She was 29, I believe, in the Women's Rumble. That was cool. And Carmella Hayes in the Men's Rumble. So we had some NXT stuff. Then the final four was Drew, CM Punk, Cody, and Gunther. It was a great last few minutes, the final four. Yeah, eventually had CM Punk eliminating Drew. CM Punk had a really good run in this Rumble, man. I really thought I wanted him to win it. I'm not like the biggest Cody fan, but this Cody feud with Roman is starting to heat up a lot now. But, you know, CM Punk eliminating Drew, then Gunther being eliminated by Cody again. And then the big grand finale of this CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, this Batman versus Superman, this Butch versus Homelander. Man, it was so good, man. It was like one of those edge of your seat things. Like once those two were final two, any one of them could realistically have won it. As soon as Punk hit the GTS and then the pedigree, as soon as he hit the pedigree, I was like, oh, Punk's got to win this. And then he picks up Cody again for another GTS, and it's like, okay. And then he goes, I didn't just wait 10 years just to lose to one of Dusty's kids. I was like, okay. He's definitely getting eliminated now. He's not winning after he said that. And then Cody catches his leg, throws CM Punk over the top rope. Cody becomes back-to-back Royal Rumble winners, first time in like over 2 decades. I mean, it was obvious they wanted, you know, another person to break, you know, who better to give a back-to-back Rumble win than Cody. I mean, he's obviously going to be the face of the company very soon after he beats Roman. We already know he's chosen his pick for the WrestleMania main event at the end. He obviously pointed at Roman in the skybox, and they had a little back and forth at the end, which was really sick. That was really hype, the way they did that. They had Seth and Roman watching, and obviously CM Punk would have picked Seth and Cody picked Roman, so that was really cool the way they did that ending sequence with Roman and Cody yelling at each other from the top of the stands to the ring. And then that was it. There was no big surprises, which is no big deal, really. I mean, you can't really set your, you know, hopes up, you know, so high for all these big returns, because they can't always happen. You know, the WWE can't have everyone. But apart from that, this Rumble was amazing. You know, you had 4 matches, and they were all really good matches. The Women's Rumble and the Men's Rumble were amazing, man. From start to finish, this show honestly could be the best show of the whole year, depending on what comes out later in the year, especially after WrestleMania. I don't know, WrestleMania is looking stacked, like hella stacked. So that's my quick review. I had to quickly watch this. I was pretty late watching this, so I had to, like, you know, watch this after work. So that's my little quick thing on it, but get out of here.